Welcome into Inside the AF1, a weekly show rebound off the net. I'm your host, Joshua Cox. Big weekend of games last weekend, two big games ahead this week, and we'll get into that here in just a little bit. But last weekend, the Corpus Christi Tritons defeated the Salina Liberty 40-12 in a shocker around the league. Our guest tonight threw two touchdown passes in that game, and we were joined by the quarterback of the Corpus Christi Tritons, Fred Payton. Fred, thanks for being with us, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
First off, Fred, we'll get into last week's game here in just a few minutes, but let's go to the beginning for you. I like to do this with all of the players. When did you first start playing football, and when did you fall in love with this game?
When I was 7 years old, I told my dad I wanted to play football, and he got me everything I needed, and I haven't looked back since. Fell in love with it right away.
Where did you grow up at? What area of the country you're from? What was kind of life growing up like?
I was born in New Orleans, and then we shortly moved after that when I was about 5 years old to Georgia, about 15, 20 minutes north of Atlanta in the Gwinnett County area. And that's where my football career started for me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later on, too, because you went to college close to there later on. But let's start first in your first college journey. I believe you started your college journey at Coastal Carolina. Why did you initially choose Coastal? What was it like for you there? And kind of off the field, what was it like living near the beach?
Initially, I chose Coastal. It was a good fit for me. I wanted to go somewhere where I could play early, get on the field early, get that experience and that film right away. It felt like a dynamic offense to be a part of, to showcase what I was trying to put on, and be a part of They had just became a FBS school maybe 1 or 2 years before I got there, so they were on a new stage and a bigger stage and things like that, and we wanted to be a part of a program that was helping build something, be a part of a legacy, and definitely got to do that in my tenure there. In my last year there, we won a Sun Belt championship during that COVID year, and yeah.
Yeah, what was some of the schools you chose Coastal Carolina over, or who were you recruited by?
I was recruited by a lot of different schools. At the end of it all, what's crazy is Mercer had offered me out of college as well, so they were in the mix. A couple of ACC schools and American Conference schools like Memphis and things like that. But like I said, I really wanted to get on the field right away and just go ahead and get my feet wet and go ahead and see what college football is all about. And so I ended up at Coastal.
Yeah, it's always great to get playing time early on. So you ended up leaving Coastal after 3 years, transferred to Mercer. What led to that decision to leave for Mercer, and why Mercer?
Yeah, Coastal gave me that platform I needed and the opportunity to get on the field early. But I play quarterback, and I wanted to really expand my horizons and my bag in that. So I left to really, I would say, grow as a quarterback. There I was able to display a lot of athleticism in the offense and the style of offense that we ran. It was more like a triple option, and you could kind of, fake pass off of that. But, I wanted to be more of a pro-style quarterback, looking forward into the future and trying to mark my way as a pro and everything like that at the next level after college. So, I put my name in the portal, and I end up at Mercer, and, I feel like it played out, for the better.
Yeah, you had a couple pretty good seasons there at Mercer. Unfortunately, I don't think you were able to make the playoffs. Overall, what was your experience like at Mercer? Kind of compare it, I guess, to Coastal too. Was it better than Coastal, and what was your experience like at Mercer?
It was definitely different at Mercer. It's a private school, and a lot of schools we play are like more like military like and things like that. So just in the way that maybe the program was kind of ran, you see the difference in that style of things. And like when you talk about Coastal being at Myrtle Beach and the scenery there versus being in Macon, Georgia, and everything like that. So Mercer was definitely all about football, and that's another thing that I wanted to do going into my last 2 years of college football. Was to make sure that I was locked in on ball and doing everything I could to elevate my game and do all I could in my last years. So the football program at Mercer helped me to grow as a quarterback. They run a different style of offense too. When I first got there, they were in like more of a wing T style, but it was still more of a drop back, and we had motions and things like that going on. We evolved into a really all around pro style offense. Had RPOs, had play actions, everything like that, anything you could ever ask for in a playbook. So. I really went, it was a very football decision. I love Coastal. I love my teammates there, that college atmosphere and things like that. But, what I was trying to do moving forward, Mercer was definitely a great fit.
Yeah, absolutely. Myrtle Beach and Macon, two distinct different places. So that was a lot different. In SoCon, in my opinion, is one of the best conferences in FCS football. I'm kind of biased on that, though. You never know what can happen week in and week out. But what was it like playing in the SoCon for you?
Like I said, it was different in the SoCon. You had a different challenge every week, depending on the team. Like you said, you had your military school, so they were very tough, ground and pound. You had to be ready to strap your hat on, and then you had schools that ran, air raid offenses, and was ready to put up 60 points at any moment. So you had to be ready to go out there and compete and sling it and score every drive with them. So it was just you never knew what surprise and type of team you were going to play. What you did, watching film and everything like that. But it was a new challenge every week, and we were always ready to embrace it, and it was always fun on Saturdays.
What was maybe some of your favorite places you played at in the SoCon?
We speak about ETSU. They had a great stadium, a great crowd. I feel like that stadium would be rocking no matter the atmosphere. We played them in the SoCon championship, so they were definitely on a different level. But Johnson City, that was a great place to play. Furman, they had a really nice stadium, really nice campus. I remember I woke up on the bus ride as we got there, and I almost didn't even realize that that's where we were at. It was so nice and things like that. Some other teams, maybe. Yeah, those two jump off right at the top of my head. Remember places to play. Western Carolina, playing up in the mountains. That was a different type of scenery. We were really on top of the mountain, playing off on top of the mountain. So that was fun and a nice scenery too. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. You said the right answer there in Johnson City. So. I know your time in Mercer, you played at both Auburn and Alabama. As someone that's a SoCon football fan, I always like being able to go to these big games, and not necessarily the greatest chance of winning, but it's always fun to play these games. What was it like being able to play in some of those premier SEC football stadiums like that?
Yeah, you had me speak on, the venues and places that I played while I was in the SoCon, but man, playing in the SEC schools like Alabama and Auburn, like, there's nothing compared to it. You play Alabama first, and then you go in there, they got 4 Joe Botrons in each section, like everywhere you go, in each corner, and just playing against that type of team, that caliber of team with Nick Saban as the coach, and they're coming off of, defending national champions, and their stadium could fit like 101,000 people. I think there was 90-something thousand there. Like, great atmospheres. Two different crowds in those two atmospheres. Alabama, even though they were, loud and rowdy, it was more like a, wine and cheese crowd. And, Auburn had the rowdy, crazy, hectic fans. So, but great experiences, great memories in both. Very blessed and thankful that I've been able to play against those two teams in those two places. Definitely something I'll never forget.
Yeah, really cool experience. Let's talk about after Mercer a little bit. You played for the Jacksonville Sharks, I believe, last year. What was your introduction to the indoor arena game? How did this come on your radar?
Man, it really came out of nowhere. Like I said, I came out in 23. I had been waiting on a call from somebody, still training, everything like that. And literally on a random day, I got a call to come out and compete for the Sharks. Yeah, I got there within the week and competed at practice and everything, and then ended up on the field. So it was really a wild introduction. Not something that I was really expecting, but it was an opportunity, and I definitely was ready for one.
What's it been like going from the indoor game last year to the arena game this year? It's a little bit of an adjustment there. What's that been like for you?
While they're both inside, they're definitely two different styles of football. The numbers are the same, 8 people on the field at a time, but you got two people in a high motion versus one person, 4 DBs versus three, and things like that. Different rules, with what the linebackers and different positions can do. So just having to adjust all that on the fly. Um, like I said, I like to embrace every challenge. I feel like every challenge you embrace can only make you better because you only can learn from it. So it's different than outdoor football like I'm used to. Now this arena, AF1 is different from the indoor IFL that I just played this past summer. So.
Yeah, so you ended up in Corpus Christi this year. Why Corpus Christi? How did this come to be? How did you end up in Corpus Christi?
I was actually signed to the Wilkes-Barre team that was supposed to be in the AF1. And then, when that all happened, I got a call. I know some guys that were a part of the roster from of the teams that I played on, and they gave me calls and said the coaches had interested in me. And once I became, a free agent and everything like that, that connection happened. So I got to speak to our head coach, and it felt like a fit. They've been watching me for a while now. And it's funny, I go look at my drafts and they've reached out before, but we never had that contact happen or connection made. Yeah, it's crazy how all these football, things happen for me. They come out of nowhere. When you not least expecting it, you always hope for it, but you just never know when they might happen and when they might come. So, I just try my best to be ready for them and seize every one of them.
Yeah, crazy world of arena and indoor football. Let's get to the game this past weekend. I think it shocked a lot of people, including myself. I had you all predicted to lose by 2 touchdowns. I'm going to go ahead and own it right now. Did things go better than you expected this week? I know you were playing Salina. Salina's coming off. They made it to the semifinals of the playoffs last year. They got a pretty good team. You all came out and just blew them out of the water, 40-12. What did you think of your all's performance this week?
I'm proud of the guys, man. Definitely went out there and competed and handled business like we needed to. Expectation-wise, we just wanted to go out there, and do our best and compete against somebody else, well, for the time, not for the time being, but ready to compete against somebody else. You compete against each other all the time at practice, and, you're trying to make each other better and prepare each other. But, there's nothing like a game. That's what you live to play, this sport for, game day and everything like that. There's nothing like game day atmosphere and going against other people and showing where you match up at. We had a lot of people doubting us, yourself included, but we ain't gonna fault you for that. Nobody seen us play. Nobody really knew what we had in store and how quick we would gel as a team and be able to put on a performance. So like I said, expectation-wise, we just went out there and did our best. A lot of things we can learn from and that we're ready and willing to and already been working on. Move forward this season, play them again, and have the same outcome.
Absolutely, yeah. I got to ask you, what's it like? You have a legendary arena receiver, Darius Prince, to throw the ball up to. What is it like playing with him? How's that been?
Man, he's like I said, this is my first year in the arena game itself. So, he's definitely helped to be that kind of like veteran guy, coach on the field type of player. Helping myself, helping the other receivers, just helping everybody as a whole, understand the game and, not just help you understand it, tell you, but, show you how it's done as well. He's still playing, still doing what he does. So it's great to have him. And, he does nothing but help this other part of the receiving core and everybody else on the team. I think that's why we were slept on. People don't understand, the amount of talent that we really have on the team and playmakers that we have on this team, including this stuff.
Absolutely. Prince is so much fun to watch. He's done it for a long time.
Sure.
So y'all got Salina coming back in here in 2 weeks. Kind of an odd situation where you play the same team at home 2 out of 3 weeks. What's that going to be like for you? What are you kind of looking for? I know Salina is going to come ready to play after what happened there. How do you avoid overlooking this next game with the outcome of the last game?
You just got to understand, anytime you're on that end of the bargain, you're always ready to get your get back. So we understand, they're going to come back in hungry and ready to have something to prove, and so they can have a different outcome. But it's all about us and making sure that we're prepared, and that we're going out there to execute and do the things that we're capable of. So as much as we're looking at them, we're making sure that we hone in on the mistakes that we may have made, and just making sure that, like you said, we don't overlook them, knowing that they want their revenge just as much as we want to prove that what we did the first time is not a fluke.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the bye week been like so far? You all been practicing this week? What has the bye week looked for you all there in Corpus Christi?
Yeah, definitely trying to get some rest at the beginning of the week. We having meetings and film and things like that. Trying to just not overdo it and get the body back into things flow like that. The guys that are still here that may not have went back home, we're lifting, we're getting together, doing stuff. So we'll get back into full form at the beginning or Sunday. But right now, we're taking that mental that we need, mental film, mental everything like that, while we rest up our bodies.
Absolutely. What's it going to take at the end of the season for this team to hoist an Arena Football Championship trophy?
Take it 1 week at a time. Don't overlook the challenge that's presented in front of you. As long as we're honed in on ourselves, like I said, I really do feel that we have that talent to hoist that trophy at the end of the season. But it's going to take 1 week at a time, being focused on the challenge that's presented, and handling business 1 week at a time.
Absolutely. Tell fans what do you like to do when you're not playing football? What do you like to do off the field?
Hang with my teammates, build that bond off the field, that make that bond on the field stronger. Other than that, during the season,
Got any hobbies?
Hobbies. I cut hair. I cut most of my teammates' hair and stuff like that.
Wow.
I just a chill guy though. I don't do too much for real.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can fans follow you on social media?
I'm on Instagram and Twitter. My Instagram is _FPJR, and my Twitter is Fred Payton Jr. at Fred Payton Jr.
Sounds good, man. Man, I wish you would have went to ETSU instead of Mercer, but it's okay. I'll forgive you.
No,
So I give you a hard time about that. Man, I appreciate your time tonight, man, and I really look forward to watching you all play this season and getting better week by week. Appreciate the time, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks y'all for having me.
All right, that was Corpus Christi Tritons quarterback Fred Payton. We appreciate his time tonight. A couple things for this week. Storm and Firebirds play tomorrow night, Friday, 7 p.m. on Voss. And then we have the Lightning and the Wolfpack at 9 p.m. on Evergreen Saturday night. Lines are not up for this game, so I'll wait to give my picks till tomorrow. I'll put that out tomorrow. So appreciate your time tonight. And thanks for listening as always. We'll see you all next week.